Hello and welcome everyone. It is Tuesday, May 29th, 2018. So I want to welcome everyone to the inaugural Jim Comics Tuesday Top Picks video. This is for New Comic Book Day this Wednesday, May 30th, 2018. I'm going to, as I mentioned in my last video that I did, I was thinking of doing these and I got a lot of positive comments from people saying that they're interested in these videos, so I'm going to put it out. This video I'm going to cover is kind of going to be in 3 segments, so I'm going to run through all the books that I'm looking at this week. I'm going to run through the big 2, Marvel and DC, and then I'm going to run through the independents. Once I've gone through all the books I'm looking at, I'm going to give you my top 3 picks for this week. Those are books that I think in the long term will have some potential to bump up in value. Now remember, this is all subjective, right? I'm going to give you my opinion. I've been doing this a long time. I have a pretty good eye for it, but nothing is set in stone, and so please do not go and spend all your mortgage money or your food money on these books. I don't think you will. I think you're all smart enough not to do that. But anyways, and once I've gone through that, I've had a few people ask me for pick out a couple cool covers that are coming out. So I'm going to give you a few covers that I'm looking at this week. So anyways, let's get right into it. I'm going to start out, like I say, with the big 2. So Marvel. Books I'm looking at for Marvel this week. There's Marvel 2-in-1 number 6. There's cover A. That's the regular cover. It's got Dr. Doom on the cover. It's a nice looking cover. As well as cover B, which is a Deadpool. It's a thing that's been Deadpoolized. It looks pretty sweet, so I'm getting both of those. I don't think I need to tell you, I mentioned this one in my last video, Amazing Spider-Man number 800. It's a big milestone issue, and it's kind of going to be the culmination of that, I believe anyways, that whole Red Goblin storyline. We're going to find out what's kind of going on there. It looks like Spider-Man may get the black suit. I don't know. It looks like, I still think that black liquid from Annual 42 at Stark Labs is going to come into play somehow. We'll find out. Anyways, there's 3 covers I'm looking at for that. There's a bazillion covers for this, so you know it's one of those things where there's cover A, which I'm getting as the Alex Ross cover. It's a really nice cover, and I recommend that to everybody. And as far as variants go, I mentioned this in my last video, I'm getting the Delato 1 for $25 and the Delato 1 for $200, which is the same cover, but it's the Virgin variant. Those are both gorgeous covers. I saw that a few months ago in the pre-orders and fell in love with it. Like I say, there's a ton of other covers. If there's something that catches your eye, hey, go for it. But long term, I think that 1 for $200 and 1 for $25 are going to have some potential. So next one from Marvel I'm looking at is Infinity Countdown Captain Marvel number 1. I believe that's just a one-shot in that continuation of that Infinity Countdown storyline, kind of like Daredevil was not too long ago. And these that single page Armor Forge story is only in the main Infinity Countdown 5 parts. Next one comes out next week, so this one probably won't have that that page in it, but I'm still getting it anyways for the run. Next one I'm looking at is, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this one. I talked to my shop. I'm trying to get it anyways. I'm going to look around for it. Is X-Men Red Annual. And it's a 1 for 10 cover. I like the cover on that one, and it looks like there's something interesting going on in that storyline, so I'm going to check that one out. And last from Marvel is Amazing Spider-Man 7.99, the second print. It's got Red Goblin and Normie Osborn is the Red Goblin on the cover. It looks pretty cool. On to DC. I'm looking at Justice League No Justice number 4. That's in conclusion of that miniseries, which will lead right into Justice League number 1 the following week. I'm liking that story so far. Green Lanterns Annual number 1. Looking at that, there's supposed to be something going on this planet, some mystery going on. So I don't know. I'm gonna take a look. I'm only buying one. I'm gonna take a look at it. Doomsday Clock number 5, the continuation of that story. This is a great story. If you haven't been reading Doomsday Clock, I highly recommend it. It's really, really good. And there's the cover A, the regular cover, and then cover B, the Joker cover, which is a really cool cover. Getting both of those, and I'm loving that story. And I think it's about time that they've kind of been setting up the characters and the storyline, so I wouldn't be surprised if something big happens in this issue. I don't know, I'm just going kind of by on a whim there, but it just feels like they've been kind of just laying the groundwork of characters, and we're kind of getting to the point where something's got to happen in that story. So I think this may be the issue, especially with them throwing the Joker on the cover. Usually when he gets involved, something happens. So we'll find out. I'm going to pick up a copy of Man of Steel #1. I'm not a big Bendis fan, to be honest, but I will take a look at Man of Steel #1. There is a potential that Rogol Zaar may show up in this, so I'm gonna check it out. It looks kind of cool. Next one up is Batman Prelude to the Wedding. There's five one-shots for this Batman Prelude. The first one comes out this week. It's Robin versus Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's al Ghul, depends on how you say it. I say Ra's al Ghul. Comes out this week, and then there's one every week for the next few weeks, and which lead up to the Batman #50 issue. So the first one is out this week. I'm going to take a look at that. I think it looks pretty good, and I like those one-shots when they're leading up to a big event, because usually something pops up in those. And last from DC is that I'm going to take a look at his Flash Speed Buggy Special #1 cover A. I was not going to get this one, but Hanna-Barbera did a bunch of crossovers a few years ago in 2016. They came out and they did. That's when Scooby Apocalypse came out and Flintstones. They also did some of those crossovers like Green Lantern and Space Ghost, and then Booster Gold and Flintstones. And then DC did their Looney Tunes ones with Batman, Elmer Fudd, and Jonah Hex, and Yosemite Sam and stuff. And I like those. They're really good. The Batman Elmer Fudd one was awesome. But anyways, I'm going to check out this Flash Speed Buggy, because it looks like there's a reverse Speed Buggy that shows up in this. So I don't know if there's going to be a first appearance of somebody in this or not. Not that it's going to be a major character or anything, but it looks kind of cool, so I'm going to pick that up. So that's it for Marvel and DC. Into the Independents, Aftershock. Now I got to make a correction. My last video I showed Pestilence #1. And I was reading on a site, they showed the old, this is the one I showed was actually from 2017. Because they showed those and then they showed the new one. The new one on the screen here is the one that's coming out this week. There's two covers, A and B. It's a Story of Satan #1. So this is the first issue of the new story arc. I kind of screwed up and put the wrong image on the screen. But anyway, so this is the new one. That's it from Aftershock. Boom Studios, Kong of Skull Island Special #1. I'm going to pick that up. Cover A. It's a $7.99 cover price, so just be warned on that. It looks pretty good, and those books have actually done pretty well. They're usually lower print runs too, so there is a 1 for 10 cover B, but I don't know. I don't know too many shops that are going to order 10 copies of that in, so I'm going to hunt around for it, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. Dark Horse has got Blackwood #1. It's a 4-part miniseries. 2 covers, A and B, both on the screen. It revolves around a magical murder in a sorcery school, and that kind of, I don't know, looks kind of interesting, so I'm gonna check that out. One that I'm not going to be getting, but I am going to, well, not that I tried to order from a shop, they can't get it, but one I'm going to be looking for, Dynamite Comics, Jeeper Creepers #2. There's a really nice 1 for 10 cover. It's cover D. It's on the screen. It's kind of a black and white cover. If you can find that one in the shops, and they're not asking a lot, I'd recommend that one, so that looks like a really good one. IDW, again, this is another one I tried to order, but I just couldn't get it. There's a Judge Dredd Under Siege #1 comes out this week, and there's 4 covers. A and B are your regular covers. And then C and D are both sketch covers. You're going to see them on the screen. So the one on the left is cover C. That's a 1 for 10, and then the one on the right is cover D, and that's a 1 for 20. If you can find those and get them for a reasonable price, I'd recommend you pick those up. They look really good. Judge Dredd is one of those characters. He's got a real following, and the print run is going to be low on that, and those are going to be good ones to get. So if you can find them, but don't overpay for them though. So, and one from Image that my shop had order in for me, I may not get this week, is Last Siege #1. It looks really good. 2 covers, cover A and B. They're on the screen. It's kind of a spaghetti western storytelling meets Game of Thrones. It's how the solicitation is. The artwork looks pretty good in it too, so I'm going to definitely grab that one. I like a lot of the Image titles. Some, like I've mentioned in the past, some are hit and miss, but this one looks pretty good. Got a couple more here. Oni Press Rick and Morty number 38, 2 covers, A and B. I don't think I need to tell you about Rick and Morty. Pretty popular series. And that one's out this week. Next one up is Scout Comics, Stabby Bunny number 5. Again, I don't think I need to tell you much about that. It's a great series. It's doing really well. I picked up number 1. I missed a couple issues, but I'm definitely grabbing this one, so getting that. Titan Comics 2021 Lost Children. I mentioned this in my last video. James Stokoe's the artist. I've got cover C. It's a black and white variant. It's on order. That's on the screen. So the solicitation is fans of Akira, Domu, A Child's Dream, Ghost in the Shell, Children of Men, Escape from New York, meets X-Men is kind of how it's portrayed. And basically Detroit has seceded from the U.S. and its citizens are under control of a madman with extraordinary abilities. And the hope of all the people lies in these 4 children with superpowers. The problem is their powers come at a price, and every time they use them, they age. So it revolves around, are they able to save the city before the powers use up all their life? So it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to definitely pick that one up. And another one from Titan Comics is Bloodborne number 4. I showed number 1 in one of my videos a while back. And that series is done quite well. It's based on the video game, as a lot of you know. I'm only getting cover B, which is the game variant. That's the image on the screen. That looks really cool. There is cover A, obviously, but I didn't like it, so I'm not getting it. And a comic I'm ordering for Valiant. I haven't ordered a Valiant comic for I don't know how long. But I'm going to order Harbinger Wars 2, number 1. There's cover A on the screen. I didn't like a lot of the other covers, like 6 covers for this thing. And then cover G is a pre-order bundle cover, so basically you have to order all the covers and then you get cover G. If you can find cover G, that'll be a good one because it's technically like a limited variant. And it's kind of a cool looking cover, so I like that one. Anyways, so my 3 picks this week are going to be the Amazing Spider-Man 800, the 1 for 25, Delato cover. Doomsday Clock number 5. And what the hell was the other one I had? That image title, Last Siege number 1. Those are my 3 picks this week, long term, which I think will do really well. And one other cover I wanted to mention. There's I'm not getting it, but there's a actually with covers. I should go with my covers first. So my 2 covers this week that I'm picking are, well, this comes down to my same picks. I got the Amazing Spider-Man 800. That Delato cover is just gorgeous. So the 1 for 25 is really nice. I like the Virgin variant, the 1 for 200. So that's one of my picks. And then cover B with Doomsday Clock, the Joker cover. That is an awesome, awesome cover. Those are my 2 covers I'm picking this week. There is a Josh Middleton cover, just so you're all aware. Those crossovers with Hanna-Barbera. So there's 4 comics. There's Black Lightning, and Hong Kong Phooey is one of them. There's Super Sons and Dynamite, and Aquaman and Jabberjaw. And the Aquaman Jabberjaw cover B, which is on the screen, that's a Josh Middleton cover. So for all you Josh Middleton fans, that is one you might want to look for. I didn't like the cover all that much, but you know, it might do well. I don't know. I'm not big into him. So, anyways, that's it this week, guys and girls. It's kind of my inaugural try at this. We'll see how it. Let me know what you think of it. If there's anything you want changed or added or deleted or whatever. But that's it for now, and I will talk to you on Thursday. Bye.